There comes a point in life when enough is enough. A moment when you've endured the weight of someone else's expectations, judgments, and criticisms for far too long, and you realize something crucial. You've been living for them, not for yourself. You've spent years trying to meet their needs, trying to mold yourself into what they wanted you to be. You bent, you adapted, you adjusted your personality and desires to fit their narrative. You thought that maybe, just maybe, this would make them see your worth. But did they? Instead, they saw you as someone to control, someone to use. You weren't a person to them. You were a tool, an extension of their desires, their ego. And they thought you'd never leave. Their delusion was built on one simple fact. They assumed that no matter how they treated you, no matter how many times they pushed you to the edge, you'd always stay. Because in their twisted minds, they believed their power over you was absolute. They believed that their manipulations, their mind games, and their emotional abuse could keep you tethered to them forever. But you woke up, and when you woke up, everything changed. Let's get something straight. Nobody has control over you unless you give it to them. Nobody can hold you captive unless you allow yourself to be captive. But they didn't see that. They didn't see you as a person with your own agency, your own will. To them, you were a pawn in their twisted game of life. They believed that they could do and say anything they wanted, and you would take it. That you'd always stay, no matter the abuse, the neglect, or the manipulation. The truth is, their ego made them blind to your strength. They thought that because they were in your life, they held the reins. They thought you were too weak, too emotionally dependent, too broken to ever walk away. They didn't realize that the more they abused you, the more they pushed you into a corner, the stronger you became. The more you realized how much power you actually had. And as they pushed, you found the courage to pull away. You found the courage to walk away from everything that held you back. The more they tried to break you, the more you realized your worth. But they never saw that coming. Let's talk about their ego. Ego is an incredibly destructive force. It blinds people to reality, distorts their sense of self-importance, and convinces them that they are entitled to manipulate others for their own gain. Their ego made them believe that you would always need them, that they were the most important person in your life, and that you would be nothing without them. It wasn't love that they offered, it was control. And that control made them believe they could shape you into who they wanted you to be. They saw your kindness as weakness. They saw your empathy as a tool to keep you under their thumb. And they used your trust, your loyalty, and your compassion to trap you in a cycle of abuse. But here's the truth. They were only fooling themselves. You weren't trapped. You weren't stuck. You were just waiting for the right moment to break free. You were waiting for the moment when you realized you didn't need their validation, their approval, or their manipulation. You were waiting for the moment when you could finally say, enough. They thought they had power over you. They thought they could control your every move, your every thought, and your every emotion. But that was all a lie. Their sense of power was built on a false foundation. They mistook your patience for weakness, your silence for submission, and your endurance for dependence. They thought that because you tolerated their mistreatment, you were weak. But tolerance is not weakness. it's strength. Endurance is not submission, it's resilience. You endured because you believed in the possibility of change. You believed in the power of love and patience. You believed that they would see the error of their ways and treat you with the respect you deserved. But love doesn't hurt. Patience doesn't mean sacrificing your happiness. Tolerance doesn't mean accepting abuse. And finally, endurance doesn't mean you are trapped. You weren't trapped. You were waiting for the right moment to break free. And now, that moment has come. The most powerful thing you can do is break free from their ego. Break free from their delusions. Break free from their control. They never saw it coming, and it terrifies them. Because now that you've realized your worth, they don't have the power to hurt you anymore. They can't manipulate you. They can't make you feel small. They can't make you doubt your value. They've lost their hold on you. And that's the moment when you step into your true power. That's the moment when you take back everything they tried to take from you. When you stop seeking their approval, stop living for their validation, and stop allowing their toxic behavior to dictate your life. You reclaim your freedom. You reclaim your confidence. You reclaim your self-worth. Now, as you walk away, they will try to make you feel guilty. They will try to make you doubt yourself. They will try to make you believe that you are the one in the wrong. They will project their own insecurities onto you, blaming you for everything that went wrong. They will try to make you feel as though you are the one who's leaving them behind. And they'll tell you that you are ungrateful for everything they did for you. But none of this is true. They're just trying to hold on to what little power they have left. They're trying to maintain control over your life. Even after you've walked away, they'll use every tactic they can, from guilt tripping to manipulation, to try and bring you back under their control. But the truth is, once you've broken free from their ego, you'll never let them have that power again. You are stronger than their words. You are stronger than their threats. You are stronger than their attempts to make you feel small. Now is the time to step into your power. Now is the time to stop living for someone else's approval and start living for yourself. Stop caring about their opinions. Stop allowing their criticisms to define your worth. Stop letting them hold you back from becoming the person you were always meant to be. The world is waiting for you. There is so much more to life than being stuck in a toxic cycle. There is so much more to life than living under the shadow of someone else's ego. You are capable of so much more than they ever gave you credit for. You are worthy of love, respect, and happiness on your own terms. The best thing you can do now is let go of their ego. Let go of the need for their validation. Let go of the fear that they instilled in you. Let go of the lies they told you. The moment you let go, you will feel the weight of their expectations, their control, and their manipulation fall away. You will feel lighter. You will feel freer. And most importantly, you will feel stronger. You were never meant to live in the shadow of someone else's ego. You were meant to shine on your own. You were meant to rise above their petty attempts to control you. And now, as you step into your own power, you will see just how much more you are capable of than they ever gave you credit for. Reclaiming your life is not just an act. It's a declaration. It's the loudest statement you'll ever make. Not to them, but to yourself. It's a moment of profound realization that you have the power to take control, to rewrite the story they tried so desperately to dictate. And here's the most beautiful part. When you finally reclaim your life, you don't just break free from their grip. You discover an entirely new version of yourself, one that you may not have even known existed. For far too long, you've been living under the shadow of their expectations, their manipulation, their ego. It's exhausting, isn't it, carrying the weight of someone else's world while your own dreams and desires get buried deeper and deeper? But here's the thing. Life wasn't meant to be lived in shackles. Your existence wasn't designed to orbit around someone else's ego. You were born to create your own light, your own path, and your own destiny. Reclaiming your life means choosing yourself, unapologetically and fearlessly. It means breaking the chains of their control, no matter how strong they seemed, because your will is stronger. It's about walking away from the toxicity that held you back and stepping into a future where you call the shots. It's about learning to say no without guilt, without hesitation, and without explanation. No to their manipulations, no to their expectations, no to their attempts to belittle you. Every no you say to them is a yes you say to yourself. And every time you choose yourself, you grow stronger, braver, and more resilient. It's about rediscovering your voice, the voice they tried to silence with their criticisms, judgments, and dismissive comments. Reclaiming your life means speaking up for what you believe in, for what you want, and for what you deserve. Your voice is powerful, and when you use it, you'll realize that it has the ability to not only change your world, but inspire others to change theirs. It's about healing. Walking away doesn't mean you're instantly free from the pain they caused. Healing is a process, a journey, and it takes time. But every step you take away from their toxicity is a step closer to the peace, happiness, and self-love you deserve. It's not about erasing the past. It's about learning from it, growing from it, and using it as fuel to propel yourself forward. When you reclaim your life, their ego will shatter. The false power they believed they had over you will crumble into nothingness. They will be forced to confront the reality they never wanted to face, that you were never theirs to control. And while they grapple with the loss of their delusion, you'll find yourself rising higher than ever before. You'll start to see life in a way you never did before. Colors will seem brighter, possibilities will feel endless, and the weight you've been carrying will lift, leaving you with a sense of freedom so profound it will take your breath away. You'll find joy in the smallest of moments, because you'll finally be living for yourself, not for anyone else. But most importantly, you'll realize your worth. You'll see that you were never broken, never weak, never inadequate. Their words, their actions, their attempts to undermine you were never a reflection of you. They were a reflection of their own insecurities and fears. Reclaiming your life means rejecting their narrative and embracing the truth. You are enough. You were always enough. Walking away isn't easy. It takes courage to leave behind what's familiar, even when it's toxic. It takes strength to step into the unknown, especially when fear has kept you paralyzed for so long. But walking away is the ultimate act of self-love. It's a way of telling yourself, I deserve better. And let me tell you something. You do. You deserve better than the lies, the manipulation, and the abuse. You deserve a life that's filled with love, respect, and authenticity. When you walk away, you're not just leaving them behind. You're leaving behind every limitation they placed on you. You're leaving behind the doubts they planted in your mind, the fear they used to control you, and the pain they inflicted on your heart. And as you take that first step into freedom, you'll feel something incredible. Hope. Hope for a brighter future. Hope for a life where you're no longer defined by their ego, but by your own dreams, values, and passions. Hope for a version of yourself that's stronger, wiser, and more empowered than ever before. When you reclaim your life, you don't just change your own story, you inspire others to change theirs. Your strength becomes a beacon for those who are still trapped in toxic relationships, who are still struggling to break free from the chains of someone else's ego. By reclaiming your life, you show others that it's possible to rise above the pain, the fear, and the doubt. You show them that there's a way out, and that freedom is worth fighting for. Your journey becomes a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. It becomes a story of triumph, of courage, and of transformation. And as you continue to grow, heal, and thrive, you'll look back on this moment, not with regret, but with pride, because you'll know that this was the moment when you took back your power, your happiness, and your life. So, to anyone who has ever underestimated you, manipulated you, or taken you for granted, let this be your answer. You're done. You're done living in their shadow. You're done being their pawn. You're done sacrificing your happiness for their ego. You are free now. Free to live, to love, to dream, and to become the person you were always meant to be. And as you move forward, hold your head high, because you've done something truly extraordinary. You've reclaimed your life. And there's nothing more powerful, more liberating, or more beautiful than that. The world is yours now. So go out there and conquer it. Not for them, but for yourself. You've earned it.